It was just after Christmas. All the kids got their gifts. Snow was outside when my mom came running through the house screaming, "Fire! Fire!" We rushed into the kitchen. We filled pots full of water. We threw it on the fire. We got more water on the fire, more water on the fire, and it just wouldn't go out. You see, that night we ran out of the house with just the clothes on our back. We lost everything. And that's when I understood victory isn't without its trials. You're going to have trials in life, and it's about what you do to overcome those trials that matter the most. And I built a career out of that. You know, when I lost everything, I gained so much. I went into the banking industry. I went into the mortgage industry. I made 6 digits within just a short period after that. The most I ever made in my life after, coming from, making $40,000, $50,000 a year to 6 digits, literally the year after we lost everything. And that's what really started Carve Your Dreams, and why I wanted to start the first episode this year in 2024, the very first episode. I have a special guest today who's going to be joining me shortly. But before I get into that, I know several of my fans and followers have already heard this, but I want to break it down for you. Carve your dreams. The word carve is broken down into a few different things. The letter C is for creatively planning. The letter A is for aspiring to be greater. The letter R is for reacting to your dreams. V, because victory isn't without its trials. And E, entertain nothing else but the dreams you want to carve. And by doing that, you'll be able to carve the dreams and manifest what you want your own reality to become. And so, Carving Mondays, Motivational Mondays, has now become my first episode of Carving Mondays, and I have a special guest today. I'd like everyone to clap. Gabriel Carver! Come on board, buddy. All right. How you doing?
Good.
All right. So I wanted to invite you as a special guest on my first episode of Carving Mondays because you really inspired me to do something special. And we actually have a flyer. You want to bring it out here? All right. So what that is you actually won, second place in speech and debate? Is that right?
I did. Yeah.
So tell me about that. What happened?
So started off cold, wet, sad, early in the morning on Saturday. Drove in, we got out, it started pretty good. It was about 7 a.m. I started doing it, I started going. I felt pretty confident in what I was doing in the first place already, and I just kept on working on it while I was still doing it, and because of that, I just improved further and further, and I made it to semifinals. And then I was shocked. And then I made
And I remember you called me and you was like, Dad, I'm in semifinals, right?
Right. I was so excited. I was so happy that I made it to semifinals.
And as a dad moment, you got to hold back those tears because you're proud for your son. And so I was super proud, excited for where you was.
Right. And then I was done with semifinals, and then I was waiting for a good 2 hours. And then eventually, everyone started crowding around to see who was going to make it to finals. I looked up, I couldn't find anything, and I see my name on there, on the finals list. My heart dropped. And right afterwards, I called my dad again. I was like, Dad, I made it to finals. And I went to the place. I was ready, I was excited, I was nervous, so nervous, because that would be the time I would speak to people, like a bunch of people, like not just a small group, but a large amount of people. So it was amazing. It was definitely amazing. I went up there and I did well.
And what was your speech about?
It was about a book that my dad read to me when I was in 3rd grade. It was, and I told that to everyone, and I think some, especially fathers, resonated with that, and I think that's why I did so well, because mine wasn't just like serious, but it was also funny because at the end, it just so happened that 3 kids actually, judged me. It was interesting to say the least.
So kids were actually judging you
Right.
in the speech and debate.
Right. Yes. I looked on.
So it wasn't just pleasing adults, you got to please the kids, so they give you a good thumbs up
Right.
then, right?
Right. I looked at I go on my computer and I can see what my judges gave to me,
Mhm.
like what rating they gave me, like what place, because there were multiple people while it was happening. 2 of the judges, the little kid judges, gave me first place, and
Okay.
1 gave me third place.
Oh, okay.
So overall, I did pretty well, I think.
Yeah, and I have a video that we can also watch and the audience can watch of Gabe's recreation of his speech at Speech and Debate. So let's go ahead and watch that now.
This book is important to me because when I was in 3rd grade, my father presented this very book to me and all my classmates. It showed how much he cared for me and how much he loved me. And not just that, my name is plastered all over this book. The main character's monster just so happened to be named Gabe, and my name is Gabe. So when I was younger, it made me love the book even more. So let's begin. I Need My Monster, written by Amanda Knoll, illustrated by Howard McWilliam. Tonight, when I looked under the bed for my monster, I found this note instead. Gone fishing, back in a week. Gabe. What was I going to do? I needed a monster under my bed. How was I supposed to get to sleep if my monster was gone? I tried to sleep, but it wasn't the same without Gabe. I missed his ragged breathing, his nose whistling, the scrabbling of his uncut claws. How would I ever get to sleep without Gabe's familiar scary noises and his spooky green ooze? It was no use. Gabe would be gone for a week, and I just had to have a monster. I climbed quietly out of my bed so my parents wouldn't hear me. Grown-ups have some strange ideas about monsters under beds. I knocked on the floorboards and scrambled under my covers. I waited nervously. Would a new monster appear? What would he be like? Would his snorting be as cheerful as Gabe's? When I heard some creaking under the bed, I knew that a substitute monster had arrived. Good evening, he said in a low, breathy voice. My name is Herbert, and I will be your monster for the evening. Herbert? What kind of name is that for a monster? You don't sound scary at all. Have you ever scared a kid before? Well, no, but I have read all the best books on the topic. Do you have long teeth and scratchy claws, I asked. Well, no, but I have an overbite and I'm a mouth breather. Listen. Herbert's panting was kind of scary, but it wasn't enough for me. Listen, Herbert, I'm sorry, I just don't think it's gonna work. It's nothing personal, but I really need a monster with claws. Picky, Herbert complained. As you wish, I'll go. There was some more creaking, then Herbert was gone. Some scratching warned me that a second monster had appeared. Good evening, he said in a high, silky voice. My name is Ralph. I understand you need a monster with claws. If you please lean over, I will hold out an arm for inspection. I crouched on the edge of the bed, hoping to see a horrible shaggy arm with sharp, ragged nails. Instead, I was surprised to see slickly brushed fur with shiny claws. Excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, I asked, but is that nail polish on your claws? Yes, it is, Ralph replied. I believe every professional monster should be well groomed. I could tell that this was not going to work either. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Ralph, but I need a monster with scary claws, like Gabe's, I thought. I heard some more scratching, and I knew Ralph was gone. I was surprised to hear more creaking under the bed, loud creaking, with scratching. I thought no more monsters were going to appear tonight, I said. Sorry I'm late, kid. Whew, it was Gabe. I thought I would enjoy fishing, but I didn't. he explained. No challenge at all. Those fish scare too easy. No challenge at all. You, however, are challenging, my friend. You're almost too old to be afraid of monsters. You keep me on my toes. Ah, toes, a delicious snack. The bed quivered as Gabe's stomach rumbled with hunger. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to start off the evening with an ominous puddle of drool. I peeked over the edge of the bed. Green ooze spread soundlessly from underneath. Then the bed trembled as Gabe unfurled his spiked tail. He was daring to guess where he might pop up. I shivered. So you had some substitute mustard tonight, Gabe said, sharpening his claws on my bedpost. Were you scared? Then Gabe started tapping. I could tell he wanted to know if I still needed him. No other monster can scare me like you, I giggled, diving under my covers and pulling them up tight. Through the blanket, I heard Gabe's soft, comforting snorts. Ha! I knew it! We're made for each other! He growled. When my blanket started to slip off the bed, I knew Gabe was ready to eat. Now, if you could please stick out your foot, he said. I'd like to nibble your pinky. I yanked my blanket back up and scrunched my feet in so Gabe couldn't get them. No toes tonight, but you can have this, I offered, pushing the pillow off the bed. I didn't even hear it hit the floor. Gabe was back. The ooze was perfect. Everything was back to normal. I shivered again. I'd be asleep in no time.
Wow, that video is awesome, dude. You did an amazing job at that video. I'm so proud of you. I mean, coming from a father, like, you know, that's awesome. You won the, what is it, the Scorpion Spectacular, right?
Yes, I won the
So I got a picture of your second place medal right here as well. So super proud of this guy. Tell me a little bit about how you're, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the first year in speech and debate, and you're the only one with a medal, right?
Right. So not many novices, especially like second year, like sophomore, junior novices, get like a medal. So being that fact, and I'm a sophomore right now, it was pretty amazing, honestly. Making it to that point, it was just incredible overall.
Yeah. What did you do to build up to that, though?
Like my training, like all that.
Yeah. So, I talk about a lot, like, creatively planning, aspiring to be better, etc. Like, what led you to the point of, being second place and potentially even first place, but what led you up to that point? How did you, plan to get to there?
Right. So I did it every day. I read that book every day, and that's all I did. I read that book every single day for like 30 to about an hour long.
Okay.
And I just kept on remembering, figuring out things, ways I could do different things, scratching, growling, anything to catch the judge's attention, so then I could get that placement.
I love it. I remember walking by the bathroom thinking you was crazy.
Well, I mean, in speech and debate, that's what I'm going to be doing. Like, I have a new speech I'm going to be doing soon on my next tournament. It's, you're going to think I'm going to be insane.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to think I'm going to be insane.
I'm excited to see. So, I talk about carving your dreams and, what you're doing with speech and debate. Where do you plan on this going next?
Like, future, like what are we talking about?
Yeah, so you're doing speech and debate in school.
Right.
What's after school? What's are you going to do this in college? Are you going to do this as a career? What's next?
So there's a lot of things that's going on in my life right now. There's a lot of things that I want to do, especially like WestMech, law and public safety. That's something I'm really trying to get into, really trying to do. my dad isn't so, he's like, I
You
don't
know, it's tough. I think any military parent can feel this as well. You know, it's tough when your kids want to go off and have that sort of career. So it's not that I'm proud of you. I'm proud and I'm excited, and I don't say don't do it. You know, it's just I worry about it. You know, there's
Yeah.
concerns, but I know you're a tough gentleman and becoming a tough young man, and so I support your interests and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overall, I think even past West Mech, college is definitely the next action of my life, and ASU, NAU, think colleges like those I need to go to and I want to go to so I can improve my life even further because I want to, become a police officer. I want to help out local communities. I want to do all these things so then, people like us can feel more safe, feel more happy, just overall have a better life in these local communities that need it, honestly.
I like it, man. There's not very many young kids, and I mean, I didn't just bring you onto the show because you're my son. I mean, I love that you're my first guest on the show. I wanted this to kind of be a special moment for the first episode, but I'm proud of who you're becoming.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, even past that, I know even further down the line, I want to be a politician and do all these things just to help out the government and just be an overall helper of America and nowhere else. Honestly, I want to help America. That's all I want to do.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about creating that plan, and then putting that plan into action, reacting to your dreams, aspiring to be greater, that you want to do something more. And, there's going to be trials. There's going to be times that, that you went to speech and debate and you did Lincoln Douglas and, different debates and it didn't turn out. But
Right.
It's those trials that make us better as humans and make us better as people to, go to the next level. And if you give up, you're never going to carve your dream, which is why I say E is for entertain nothing else but carving your dreams. And so if you believe it and you want, to be a politician, you want to go into security and be able to run your own security business and everything that you're doing right now is going to get you there. I mean, even in the past when, we used to do flag football, right? You want to talk a little bit about that? I mean, we started off as, a bunch of kids that never played football before, right?
Right. So it was, when was it? 5th, 6th grade, I started flag football. And I was stuck with a bunch of other kids my age, some older.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we kept on working on plays. And that's the thing that we worked on the most was plays. It wasn't the fact that we were the strongest, the fastest. It was the fact that we were the most stable. And stability is the strongest weapon anything or anyone could have. If you are stable, then everything will be fine.
It was a good plan. So, a little bit about myself. When I get into something, I take it passionately. And so when I started coaching, actually, they needed some volunteer coaches. And so I was proud to volunteer for my son's team. And so it was actually myself and then my brother, Andy Carver, also helped coach with me. Andy was doing the offense. I was doing the defense. And we created our own plans, our own plays. We got armbands for the kids. Everything was collar coded, so everyone knew what collar they were, where they had to be, when they had to go there. And I think it really helped you kids learn a lot faster. Am I right? Or
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the plays in my mind and on my brace, I was flipped through it. I know exactly where to go. I went there. And everything was color coded. And if you don't mind, I'd like to rant about when I was in high school football.
Sure, go ahead.
So, oh wow. So, I was first string running back when I was in football. football, right? So we had little plays too, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't color coded. I had no idea where I was going. I am a right-brained individual, just like my dad. So I'm like, I need to know where to go, like where am I and when. And if I don't know that, then I don't know how I'm gonna do what I need to do. And because of that, I failed. But I kept on working and I kept on getting better, and I turned out to like something even more. And I turned out to like being a defensive end and a middle linebacker and an outside linebacker. I loved defense, and I was really good at defense too. I was good at grappling, tackling, all those things I was good at. And yes, I may not be the largest, but I knew how to do it. And that's why I was so good at doing what I was doing. So
I like it. Yeah, you know, I think it really takes a good plan, you know, to really execute a win, and so many different teams. You know, I think our last season of flag football, we came to the final game. We still lost, but to take a team that lost every single game our first season to a team the last season that we played together as a flag football team, we, you know, made it all the way to the championship game.
All the way to second place.
You know, and we took second place, but think about everything that we overcame to be able to get that. You know, we, you know, was playing up against literally the best players in the league. You know, I mean, we had some really great players on our team, but, you know, we weren't the fastest, we weren't the strongest, but we knew our plays.
Right.
And I believe in that so strongly that, you know, a successful business, a successful team is going to have a creative plan to be able to build that out. You know, our dog Lucario over here in our set, you know, is really wanting some attention and wants to be on the show as well, I think.
Yeah. He is wanting up a storm. There's nothing we can really do, and we're too far in the interview to do anything about it. That's the reality of the situation.
No. So I apologize to any of our viewers who keeps hearing our dog Lucario. You know, he just really wants some attention right now. But I think that's a good ending segment for the show. First off, I thank you so much for being on the show. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday morning. This is, you know, a great start to our Carving Mondays. I hope everyone, each one of you, get out there and carve your dreams this week. The reason why we do it on Monday is because, to me, that's the most important day to really make sure that you build a plan, take the time to build a plan, and execute that plan throughout the week. So get out there, carve your Mondays. I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Happy Monday, and carve your dreams.